Time to kick off holiday shopping with two $10 reds to keep your budget in check. Hi, I'm Carolyn Evans-Hammond and welcome to my tasting room. Carolyn's Tasting Room is where you can taste exciting wines with me. And tonight, we taste two best buys for holiday shopping from Bacalhôa in Portugal. They include the 2022 Terra High Altitude Vineyards Vinho Tinto and the 2023 JP Azeitão Syrah Castelão Aragonez from the Setúbal region of Portugal. So let's taste. So the first wine in our flight is a 2022 Terra. It's a red wine I've recommended before. I believe in this wine. It's about $10 and I think it's undervalued. So pour yourself a glass and let's taste. First in the glass, you'll immediately notice the depth of color. That's because of the grape varieties in this blend. Two native grape varieties, Tinto and Turanga Nacional, as well as Cabernet Sauvignon. All varieties with relatively thick skin, which imparts great color in the glass. Give it a swirl and a sniff. See, I love that. It smells absolutely pure, but also complex, and there's depth and lots of dark fruit. I just love that. To me, it smells a little bit like plum pudding or Christmas cake. You know, so you're getting the spice cake, you're getting a little bit of maybe, nuttiness as well as dried fruit, including dried currant and sultanas. And there's fresh fruit too. The fruit is sort of black fruit. So think damson plums, blackberry, maybe a hint of black cherry, Armino cherries, something like that. So I like this because it's articulate in its complexity. Complexity being a mark of quality across the board always, as well as fruit purity or cleanliness on the nose. And we're getting both of those things. Bacalhôa is a very quality-minded producer in Portugal. It's very respected. It's been around for ages, and its wines are very respected in Portugal, though it's obviously exported quite a bit. So I love those things going in, but let's have a taste. You would never guess that this sells for $10. I think it sells for $10.95. Great bargain. Why? Because it floods in smooth with nothing sticking out. So that's a mark of balance. The acidity, the alcohol, the fruit stuffing, and the tannins, which are polished and velvety, are all in impeccable balance. So you just enjoy a great sweep of smooth, full fruited flavor. Fantastic. And then if you'd like to focus, you can see everything fanning out. So the dark fruit starts with fresh dark fruit, sort of muddled, macerated dark berries, forest fruit, and then it fans out and you're getting the sultanas, you're getting the nut, you're getting the spice cake, a little bit maybe of gingerbread or something like that. And there's some length. That length, another mark of quality. Better wines have longer length. This one has some length going on, which again, mark of quality. It's going to bridge to whatever you're going to eat with it. This is the kind of wine that I think is fantastic with all sorts of, fall and winter foods like braised meats or casseroles or meat pie, things like that. And if you're plant-based, mushrooms, fantastic. So the second wine in our flight is something you probably know. This wine has been around for ages. It's JP Azeitão Red. Now this is a blend of Syrah, Castelão, and Aragonez. The last two grape varieties are of course from Portugal, the first one from France originally, and together they form, 1/3 each of the blend. But it's a wine that I really like, a wine I'm thrilled to be presenting today because I think it's great value. Again, $10.95 a bottle, and consistent year in, year out. The other thing about this wine is it's slightly fuller bodied than the last one. This has 13.5% alcohol. The last one has 13. So we're going to be looking for a little bit more richness in the glass. Just so you know, as a sort of helpful tip, if you glance at the bottle and look at the alcohol level, that's the best indicator you can find without drinking it as to the weight of the wine, the body of the wine. Anything under 12.5 is light, 12.5 to 13 is medium, 13.5 and above or 13 and above really is going to be fuller. So with that, let's take a look at the wine. Again, great depth of color. All three grape varieties have thicker skin, and you see that as a deep purple, almost black wine that's opaque in the center. It is clear though. You can see inflections, which is important because you don't want this to be hazy. If it was hazy or dull, it might be flawed, but that's not the case here. And in fact, it's interesting. If you swirl, you can see legs showing down as the wine sort of drapes down the inside of the glass. Those legs, they indicate alcohol. So the more prominent the legs are, the higher the alcohol. So the legs are a little bit more prominent this time, so we know there's going to be more body. So a swirl and a sniff. Lovely clarity of flavor, or lovely clarity of aroma. It's not uber fragrant, but it's really pure on the nose, and I love that. And it's interesting. Do you notice that there's a slightly different nose on this, a different profile of aromas? That's because the grape varieties are different. Every grape variety contributes a slightly different taste and aroma profile. That's why they're so important. So it's probably why they're on the label here. So Syrah is something I often associate with red meat. So that's where we'll go first. Yes, isn't that great? But it's not roasted or grilled meat, but it's fresh red meat. Do you notice that? This is stainless steel. It didn't see wood, which is why we're not getting those wooded and toasty aromas. There's also black, muddled black fruit, sort of blueberry and blackberry here more than cherry. Little bit, maybe a little bit of raspberry jam. Those are from the other varieties. Love that. And a hint of minerality, sort of like slate or something like that, lending gravitas. So, are you thirsty? I know I am. Let's try it. Love that. So juicy. This is more mouth-watering than the last wine. Yes, there's more weight. You can feel that as it, goes in and then starts to arc and recede. There's more weight and it lingers longer than the last wine. But there's more freshness too, a little bit more acidity, keeping the fruit upright and making it really drinkable, really juicy, really refreshing, which is a great attribute at the table. The flavors, pristine, pure, mouth-watering, juicy, a little bit more fresh fruit than dried fruit. And I love the finish because it goes on, and my palate is actually seasoned with blueberry, salt, and a little bit of dark olive. Do you get that? This is the kind of wine I would love to serve with something like, chicken with a tomato olive sauce. And the reason is tomatoes can be hard to pair with wine, but this has enough acidity to stand up to tomatoes. Something to know about. And that's what I wanted to talk about with this wine. So there you have it. 2 outstanding wines from Portugal for about $10 each. Great value to tuck under the Christmas tree. My tasting room is now on Instagram at Carolyn Evans-Hammond, so join me there for daily posts so you can drink better and learn how.